We were talking about CCIM as an investment and return on that, and I haven't really run it that way for somebody. If they wanted to, we could, but being able to board a horse on a place like this where you could ride it and everything else starts off at somewhere in the neighborhood of $200, $300, $200 to $300 a month in this Williamson County market area. And that's a variable, depends on what's offered, so on and so forth. But you can begin to see the opportunity. What's really unique about this is there's really two different pieces of property. You've got the barn, what you see here, and then we're going to go look at the back here in just a minute, and you can begin to see that. We're just driving along here. This is the way you do it on a cold day in Texas. But as you can see, the stuff right here in front of us is just the developers allowed the homeowners to park some of their RVs and boats and stuff back here. But this is kind of the backside of this piece of property in the wooded area. If you look over here to the left of me, all this woods is part of this piece of property. We're going to go over here and we're going to flag the survey stake in just a second. But this area looks down into the bottom in here, and just would be a gorgeous area to be able to build a house in here. Even have some rocks in here to get started with. So we're going to tag some of this in the back along the fence line so you guys can tell where we're at.
Okay, so tell me what that is back there.
Well, what that is, that's the property line on the west side of the property. As you can see, Darrell, that's back in there about 25 yards in this heavily wooded area. And if you notice up here, we got some big oak trees. I can't tell you how old they are. Here's a cedar elm we've got right here. But this is a heavy oak wooded area. It'd be a beautiful area to put a home site in. All right, Darrell, we're here in the, let's see, this is going to be the northwest corner of the property. You see the stake here. We're back off into the heavily woods here, and then what we've done is gone along the fence line here some on the property so you can see it when you come into this corner. But keep in mind, this is the northwest corner of the barn and the 10-plus acres that we've got to sell. And right up here, Darrell, as we look from this fence line, we look back toward the barn, and I'm going to guess that we're looking at something, looks like that's about 300, maybe 400 yards off there, the barn in front of us, so you kind of get an idea.
Okay, Wally, as an investment, this property, as compared to other kinds of investments like apartment houses and duplexes in the $300,000 range, how does this kind of compare with just a regular investment?
Good question, Darrell. It stacks up real well. A lot of my investors will look at would it carry the note, and could I make some sort of return on that part of the investment? And without a doubt, it can. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, the $200 to $300 a month starting range for horses is a very achievable number. You know, I don't have an exact count because some of the stalls have been taken out, but you're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 to 15 stalls there in the barn. And then we've got of course, on each of the ends, and you can see it here really good in this photograph, this video, on the west side and the east side, you've got those living quarters. And so those would make real good situations either for a barn manager to live there for free, or you could lease those out. So I think you'd find your numbers to be very, very aggressive, and to be able to take something that for most people is an expensive hobby and turn it into a profitable business and still be able to ride your own horses and build your own home site there in the back where we showed a little bit earlier in the heavily wooded area.
So if I bought this property as an investor, could I get the income from this property to buy the property for me?
Oh, without a doubt there. Without a doubt, you make that work. We're going down into the south side of this piece of property, and you can see it's a gradual fall here in elevation down into the drainage area. What we're going to do in just a second is go into this 20-plus acre common area that's all part of Twin Creek Farms. And everybody's got access to it. They can ride their horses into this area. And also there's a pretty good sized tank that's on this piece of property, a lake, that'd be a great area for somebody to be able to fish and picnic and just play with their kids and really enjoy the country life close to town. We're coming into this 20-plus acre common area that you can see here down on the creek bottom. And as you can see, we got some black Angus, a little calf out there, not too old, that's grazing here, and we got some hay out there. And this is just all part of an area that the homeowners can take advantage of, ride, come down here in just a second. We're going to drive up here and we'll take a look at the tank. I think it's got some pretty good water in it right now. We got them taken off, Darrell. Did you get that? That's cool. Oh, we had about 35 or 40 ducks out there on the tank, or lake as some folks call it. But anyway, here you get to see the subdivision, Twin Creek Farms, from the common area. And that's looking to the north, and now Darrell's filming out there to the west. This is all part of the common area that our folks can use. And we'll go down into by the creek bottom here in just a second.
Looks like those cattle are hungry.
Yeah.
They want you to feed them.
Yeah, they're used to a pickup truck coming out here and dropping hay and feed. We're not going to do that today. It's just too god doggone cold for us.